I think the coming together of the governors of the Southern extraction, to me, believe you me, is the very wrong way to go about, issues of politics that affects the whole nation. Because the message here, unfortunately, is like ganging up against the rest of the Nigerians, particularly the North, by state actors who should be the ones that will protect and advance the unity of this country and ensure that all the parts of this country will feel comfortable by whoever end of the day will emerge as the president of this country. But if you go the way you are going and you have all the things listed in the communique or in their meeting, it seems to be a kind of ganging up against the North. When you look at the grazing, you look at the insecurity, you look at the issue of politics 2023, how can we have elected officials, governors for that matter, coming out in this manner to emphasize things that divide us, not talking about things that unite the country? I mean, it beats my imagination. And it's unfortunate that we don't have governors today coming together on issues of principle, that maybe that we are progressives or we want a progressive government in this country, or we belong to a particular ideological leaning and therefore we want to entrench that kind of politics in the country. But what we are hearing is that it's like these governors are not anything better than Igboho or Kanu or any person that is not elected to protect the nation. So I'm disappointed, really, to say the least, because by now, we shouldn't be talking about these dichotomies that have nothing to do with good governance. You talk about North, you talk about religion, you talk about where you come from, and you are talking about fairness. I think we are getting it wrong. And the earlier these governors wake up to their responsibilities of ensuring that this country becomes stronger as one indissoluble, and one united country, the better for everybody. The way they are going will even kind of scare the North. And the North, don't forget that the North, in fact, controls, the largest chunk of the vote that you want to use to become the president of this country. Except if they are talking about president of Southern Nigeria, not the president of Nigeria. You must act in a way that somebody can entrust his future, his affairs in your hands. But the way these Southerners, the governors in particular, are going, is not in any way in tandem with the intention of the founding fathers of this country. And if you look at what I think most of Nigerians, particularly the Northerners, will take from this, is that we are out against you, and we want to make sure that we will retaliate, whatever you have been doing to us, which perhaps, nobody in the North really intends anything bad, for the country. In fact, insecurity they are talking about, who is the worst, who is suffering, the worst scenario of insecurity in this country? It is the North. Who is suffering the worst case of poverty? It is the North. Who is suffering the worst case of unemployment? It is the North. So what for God's sake are you saying in that case? So please, let us behave as responsible state actors that are elected on the basis of advancing the unity of this country, not on the basis of dividing this country between the South and North. So 2023 years, everybody knows that. In fact, Sean, when you talk about fairness, and you look at the zones, North Central, where I come from, has not been given chance in this country to head the country in a civilian administration. All we have had, maybe from North Central, and everybody has had it, is a military junta. And the military junta are just people who they don't even consult anybody, before they emerge. Yeah. So don't talk about fairness. When you talk about fairness, North Central should be given the opportunity to rule this country come 2023. So let us talk about how to unite this country. How to advance the
reason why I'm asking you this question is because you're a politician, and this conversation, politicians have this kind of conversation. I remember at the twilight of President Olusegun Obasanjo's administration, the conversation of where next the president should go came up. Even when President Goodluck Jonathan was in office, this conversation also came up. Where should it go? And I remember vividly that northern politicians clamor that power should return to the North. So why do you think it's going to make the North uncomfortable when, if you count the years, and after President Buhari leaves office, it would have been 8 years of a Northerner, and there is this arrangement, an unsigned agreement within the political class that the power should be rotated, especially the PDP, be rotated between the North and the South.
The worst violators of the agreement you're talking about is even the southern, part of the country. When Jonathan was supposed to do only 4 years of his administration, when Yar'Adua passed away, why did he not stop after 4 years? Why did he go another 2 years and even wanted to have a third term? And the Southerners want to load it over the North so that, now they're telling us that it is 8 years of Buhari, so after 8 years of Buhari, it must come. Constitutionally, it's even under PDP, it's supposed to be 8 years of President Obasanjo, and after that, North was to have 8 years. North didn't have the 8 years. So when you are talking about fairness, why don't we be fair with ourselves when we are talking? So don't talk about fairness here. Talk about how do we unite this country? How do we ensure that we have a president that can deliver, for the people of this country? Where is the masses in all these discussions we're talking about? That the North, that it is now the southern part that will have the chance to rule the country.
There is another issue.
Talk about the masses.
Yeah, there's another issue that is very critical. So the southern governors had said that come 1st of September 2021, they set it as a deadline for the promulgation of the anti-open grazing law in all the 17 states of the South in Nigeria. What's your take on that?
This is unfortunate, Sean, because we had, like I said, state actors, governors for that matter, giving ultimatum to a president, and you want to have peace in the country. You don't give ultimatum, for God's sake. You don't gang up against your president. You don't, because they know that the president has come out with a policy on grazing. Why can't you go back into your rooms? I mean, into political parties or some caucuses.
Engineer Yabagisani, is this a gang up? Apologies, please. Is this a gang up against the president? Because I didn't see the name of the president here. The solution of the southern governors is against the bandits and against the killer herders who they say are moving with weapons. And their solution is that there should be no to open grazing. And that is their own solution. And why would you say it's a gang up against the president?
Nobody supports, terrorism, because I even look at it as terrorists. People who are carrying, guns without license or without the authorities giving you the permission to do that. But the point I'm making is that everybody in this country and all over the world knows that Mr. President has come out very strongly behind the issue of open grazing. So why should state actors that are supposed to be in the same party with him, that are supposed to protect the interests of this country, now come out and give ultimatum, to the country, which is headed by a northerner? So this is wrong. This is the wrong way to run this country. Please.
All right. So let me. Yeah. And you know how big thinking. Okay.
And then knowing that they are not representing, even though.
Let me bring back Mr. Falana into the conversation.